How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today as we continue to inch closer to our Week 2 matchup as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, a big episode of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast will be on tomorrow with our insider beat writer Zach Gilbert. He will be joining us to talk about our final predictions of what to expect out of the Kansas City Chiefs going into a very big game for them. They have a Super Bowl rematch that is standing out above the crowd of any other game this week, in my opinion. This is and for the Kansas City Chiefs, there's been a lot of debate of whether or not this is a must win, or if you lose this one, does that mean that your dynasty is over? Is it time to start buying into the Denver Broncos or the Los Angeles Chargers? And, that's a lot of the conversation. However, I don't think that way. If you want to know why, be sure to find and go check out other podcasts that I have done. But today, we are going to talk about the question on everyone's mind, or at least on mine, and I hope that it resonates with you guys going into the Super Bowl rematch, is whether or not Patrick Mahomes has enough magic to get the Chiefs into the win category, the win column, for the first time in 2025. Now, as we saw in week 1, the magic was there, but the magic was delayed. It happened in the latter half of the game where they were trying to make a comeback. The Kansas City Chiefs never led in that game. They had opportunities to tie or take the lead, but they just fell through their fingertips. And then you see a leader like Patrick Mahomes trying to make do with what he could. You didn't have Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce kind of had a hit or miss type of game. Tyquan Thornton had some opportunities for a deep ball that were either overthrown or passed deflected by the defenders. There was the rushing game, other than Mahomes himself, was very mute. There wasn't a lot to take away from that, but Mahomes played terrifically. A lot of people are looking at Mahomes like, wow, if that's the Mahomes that the Chiefs are going to get, they're bound to win some close games. And I know that the clock just ran out on the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1, but they have to get out of the gates early. The cool thing about Mahomes and his magic, quote unquote, to say, is that he's able to keep his team in the game, whether it be a one score deficit, whether they are holding a one score lead, or if they have to find their way back in. However, a lot of the times that we've seen in recent games for the Chiefs is that the Mahomes magic and the offensive game plan are slow to get out of the gates. The Kansas City Chiefs cannot run into a similar issue that they found in Super Bowl LIX, which is they trailed very early. The offense was mute. Their offensive line was atrocious. Their wide receiving game was absent. Patrick Mahomes did not play good at all until the latter half of the game, where the Chiefs put up a sneaky 22, even though the deficit was still very large. Now, there was a few moments in week 1 that we saw from Mahomes and his magic, a lot of about to be taken down and sacks and all that, flipping it over to get a first down, finding ways to evade defenders running after him. You can't deny that Patrick Mahomes was a key reason of keeping the Chiefs in the game on week 1 or for week 1. What you have to realize, though, at least in my mind, is the Philadelphia Eagles are a much better team than the Los Angeles Chargers. And if the Los Angeles Chargers held on to a very close game while Mahomes was starting his comeback a little too late, what happens if Mahomes starts his comeback and the rest of the Chiefs start their comeback if they go down to the Eagles? Can you find a way to score points on the board? Are there ways that the Chiefs can hold, the Chiefs defense, who struggled in week 1, can hold off a very in your face Philadelphia offense. There's a lot of ways that this could go south, but the question is on whether or not Mahomes has enough magic or if he has to do it all himself. I think that going into this game after a defeat, riding a 5-game skid, losing to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, losing 3 preseason games, and then losing to the Los Angeles Chargers, the Chiefs haven't been able to get out of the gates in quite a while. That's only going to motivate the offense, the defense, and primarily Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of revenge that's going to be on his mind. He did not throw the football well when he last saw Philadelphia. In his defense, the offensive line didn't give him a lot of time to in the pocket to evade or find the right passing guy or passing target rather. So there is a world where Mahomes is going to have to use the magic, but I do think that the Chiefs offense going into this game knows, hey, let's ride with Patrick Mahomes and be able to take our game out of the gates right away. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, they are at home. Chiefs Kingdom is going to be loud, roaring that stadium. They own the Guinness World Record for the loudest stadium in the world for a reason, and they're going to need it when they are hosting the Eagles. A very highly anticipated game that is seeing the Chiefs as underdogs, whether that be because the Eagles are reigning Super Bowl champions and or that they have a victory to their name and the Chiefs don't. If Mahomes is able to find a way to move the football down more that isn't and is just always explosive plays, or is ways where he can be evasive and maybe rush the ball himself, do some trick plays. Any way that you got to throw the Philadelphia Eagles off their feet, you're going to have to try. If there is enough Mahomes magic in his arm, in his legs, and the rest of the offensive game plan is working around that, I think that there is a world where the Kansas City Chiefs can come away with a very close victory. I think that if the Philadelphia Eagles offense is going to be electric, I think that the Chiefs are going to only match that. I do think that this game is going to come down to defense, and the Chiefs defense is going to have to step up. They're not going to want to allow 40 or more points like they did the last time that they faced off against this Eagles team. Instead, let's see the Chiefs defense that can hold a very strong offense to a mute number, maybe pulling some 2024 magic, Kansas City Chiefs magic, not even just Mahomes magic, out of their hat and win a 1-score game. But with that, I would love to get your opinions on this. How you guys think that this game is going to go down? Do you think Patrick Mahomes has enough magic left in the tank to carry this Kansas City Chiefs team to victory over the Philadelphia Eagles? You're going to have to let me know when you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs as we get closer and prolong into week 2 and for the rest of the regular season. You should also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI over on X. Every single story is published there, exclusively free for you. Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs news, podcasts, and analysis. Always, ladies and gentlemen, remember, be kind to one another. I'll see you tomorrow with our special guest, Zach Gilbert.